The Peer Networks programme, powered by the New Anglia Growth Hub.
It's Wendy Murray-Smith, and I run 2 pubs with Justin Harvey and Colin Tickle.
What made you decide to join the Peer Networks programme?
I'd had COVID personally, and had been really poorly. And Mr. Harvey, the landlord, he'd also been really poorly. We'd lost a member of staff. It was a really hard time for us. I mean, it was for all pubs. The whole thought of opening felt overwhelming, and I knew that I wasn't clear on the way to go, if that makes sense. I sort of felt like I needed to relaunch it, re-engage people, and get them motivated. And it was really finding a bit of support in a way to do that. I have a lot of experience in other businesses, so I had a problem with being confident. It was just finding a way to do things. And that's really why I joined it. I just thought it would be nice to listen to other people and see if I learned anything from it.
Did the programme meet your expectations?
Beyond my expectations. We had a group that were similar, if that makes sense. There was only one other person in exactly the same industry, but the industries were similar in the way that there were service industries, and customer service was absolutely paramount for everybody there. So whatever experience someone had was easily translatable into how you could apply that to your own business. What I expected was somebody talking, having to listen to it while I'm doing a bit of paperwork and maybe join in a bit in here and there, but it wasn't like that at all. It was really interactive. It was very well managed. So it kept us on track, but there was plenty of opportunity for other people's experiences, or for us to say, this is what's really worrying me, and it was quite frank. It was quite, like the first going off, it was like, I'm saying, well, I don't know, I don't know anybody here. And I'm sort of saying, I need to motivate my staff. And they were at the end of it, they sort of said, I think you need motivated. And I thought, wow, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely. And it takes someone else from outside of you to be able to do that. And sometimes having a different perspective is definitely what you need. So,
how have the sessions impacted your business, and what have you taken away from the sessions?
Well, Gino Wickman was recommended to me as a writer, and a couple of books, and it helped me to do a completely new business plan and to restructure everything, but do it in a very organized way, which my brain wasn't organized at the time. There was a lot of old skills that I already knew, but you forget that everyone helped to bring to the fore again. And I probably was able to help. I hope I was able to help a couple of people as well. And that was really the most help, because even having started, over a month later, and I had a really bumpy start, I've been able to go back and refer to that. But they helped me to pull this big plan together. And that's the most help that I've had. I don't know, actually, I think now looking back at it, the most help I had was emotional support. Definitely. Without that, I don't think I would have been able to do it. If someone had just said, get the books and have a look at the books, and I still wouldn't have been able to do it. I think it was having that kind of support and leadership, because Sam would go, think you need to look at this, think you need to look at that. And it kept us on track. So I think that was probably the most important thing, really. And then the support to carry on, and to feel that I was at the point that I could carry it on myself now.
Would you recommend the programme? And if so, why?
Definitely. We don't know. Every day's a learning day, isn't it? And sometimes we don't think that we know ourselves, but what we have, or experiences that we've had, are something that we can help someone else. And I think the way of the future is to do a lot more Zoom. It's not like I'm quite old. So the old days, you would go to network meetings, you would go to breakfast meetings, you would meet people, you would make networks. And people might go with the perception, oh, I'll meet someone that's going to help me in business, but they may help in a different way. And joining something like this is always a learning curve. And also being able to share anything that you have is key. You might not think, especially if you're a young person, that you have much to share, but your energy and enthusiasm or your passion for whatever you're doing, that can reignite someone else's passion. Go, oh, I remember that. I remember feeling like that. And so we've all got things to share, and I think it's very much the way of the future.
To find out more about the Peer Networks programme, please visit www.newangliagrowthhub.co.uk.